This is a confidence booster. And I think it's fun because it was right in front of me. I knew it all along. Like, I'm good at bastarding. All right, before we begin the show, let's thank our sponsors. First and foremost, our title sponsor, Once Upon a Coconut. All natural, non-GMO coconut water with natural electrolytes and no added sugar. You can choose from pure blueberry, pineapple, watermelon, sparkling energy, and chocolate flavors with Once Upon a Coconut. Stay hydrated and refreshed. And if you're wondering why it tastes so darn good, it's due to a combination of factors, including the freshness and sweetness of young coconut water, the lack of additives, and the natural electrolytes present. And the best part about it, Once Upon a Coconut, 10% of profits go to charity that benefit our communities, including the Down Syndrome Foundation, Breast Cancer Foundation, Leukemia Society. Good things, good people, great product. So you can grab it at some Sprouts. You can grab it on Amazon. You can go online to find a store near you or purchase it right there off of their website, onceuponacoconut.com. It is delish. Big thanks to Inspect All Pest Services, our buddy Nick and the crew over at Inspect All Pest Services, providing the highest quality termite, pest, and wildlife control. That's not all they do. Inspect All can take care of your insulation, pressure washing, gutter maintenance, and other home services in Metro Atlanta and the surrounding areas. Remember, seasonal, you get different bugs and critters all around your house, so you want to go with the best in the business, and that would be one of our fine sponsors from day one, InspectAllServices.com. It's the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora, with the Aurora Law Firm, best darn defense attorney in the world, litigating all over the United States, based out of Georgia. We're talking criminal defense, white-collar crime, DUI, drug offenses, appeals, and more. And you can always get your legal questions answered by the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora, by getting those to me. And when he pops up on a show, you get your questions answered. So go to thebaileyshow.com and we'll get those questions to the Mad Dog. The Aurora Law Firm.com. He is the best in the business when it comes to therapists. There's no doubt about that. I use them, and so should you. We're talking about Dr. David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. He's got 10 therapists in-house, 3 different locations there in Georgia, one across from Sprayberry High School in Sandy Plains in East Cobb, Marietta near the Square in McKaysville, just outside of Blue Ridge. But if you're not in Georgia and you need to talk to the good doctor, then you can go online and get virtual sessions. Ridgeline Counseling at gmail.com if you'd like to email him directly, or go online to markwelltherapy.com. There is no better time to check if your insurance is any good. That's why FBC Insurance is waiting for you to reach out. You can call them at 888-308-1841 or email them info@fbcinsuranceservices.com. I just switched up my car insurance because I got a better deal at FBC Insurance. They were the people to find it. Perfect for new homeowners, especially if you're trying to reshop those current insurance policies. 5-star service, multi-policy, bundled discounts, and they're going to shop every carrier out there to find the best insurance for your house, flood, storm season, auto, motorcycle, boat, recreational vehicle, or just a personal policy. 888-308-1841 or go online, FBCInsuranceServices.com. Another one of our great sponsors in storm season. You have to talk to the good people at Alternate Power Solutions of Georgia. Family owned and operated. They are a Generac generator dealer, founded in 2012. So storm season, power goes out. Who knows when it's coming back on? Don't be that guy or girl that does not have a backup plan and having power for whatever it be, especially medical devices, fans, air conditioning, so on and so forth. Offering sales, service, installation, and repair of automatic home standby and portable generators, every single one of you. When you become a customer at Alternate Power Solutions of Georgia, you get an upgraded warranty, free monitoring, and warranty repair. A+ rating with a BB&B, and you pay nothing until the job is complete. Call or request a free home assessment and go to their website, poweringgeorgia.com, or buzz them at 770-853-7571. Use the discount code Bailey, my last name, and get $500 off your entire installation. All right? Servicing Georgia and Tennessee. Alive Ozone Therapy Spa in Altamont Springs, Florida. This is mine and my wife's wellness spa. If you have an autoimmune, cancer, HIV, just simple biohacking, long COVID, the answer is yes to just about anything that's going on in your body. Most of the time it starts with inflammation, and ozone therapy, it decreases inflammation. So ozone therapy, we are the first and only to do it in Central Florida. That is a live ozone therapy spa. We also offer red light therapy, halo therapy, pressotherapy, PMF grounding mat, as well as naturally in-house made ozone infused products like the magnesium butter that many of you absolutely love. Ozone therapy, what is it? Quickly, it repairs and rejuvenates your cells to the mitochondrial level by using activated unlimited oxygen. Simple as that. No side effects. That's all there is to it. It's a 30-minute session, and you actually burn up to 600 calories when you're in the Hocket sauna. We do it the most non-invasive way. So whether you're in the area or you want to travel, book an appointment, AliveOzoneTherapySpa.com. All the products you can get there as well. And remember, for you two peers, use the discount code BS10 to take that off those online products. If you want to be a sponsor of the show, reach out to me via thebaileyshow.com. And if you are a listener of this podcast and you need any of our great sponsors, please reach out to them. Now, let's begin.
What do we want to talk about?
To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Welcome to the Bailey Show podcast, a guy show women love to listen to.
Intellectually immature nonsense.
That's BS.
That's BS.
That's BS.
That's BS.
Okay, then, let's do it.
Yeah, here it is. Episode 416 of the Bailey Show podcast. It is a guy show that women love to listen to. At least that's the rumor on the street. All on the BPX. 3 shows, different shows, 5 days a week, 1 feed. Hopefully you're listening on Spotify. That way you can get the visual of the whole damn thing. Thanks to all of our great sponsors, especially our title sponsor, which would be Once Upon a Coconut. This is pineapple. OnceUponACoconut.com. Find out where they sell it nearest you, or you can order online, OnceUponACoconut.com, and save yourself 10%. Use the discount code BSPodcast10 at checkout so you can save yourself some gatuses. All right, thanks for being here. My name's Jason Bailey. Right there, that is the Bald Badger, Benjamin.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. I did something last week I'm really excited about.
Tried to grow hair?
Nope, shaved it.
Shaved it.
I booked my hunting trip.
Oh, that a boy. There you go. We'll give you another applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's the Fox with 2 X's. Melissa, hello.
Hi, I'm sporting the lesbian ponytail, by the way.
with the lesbian jacket too. Everything is
Oh no, that's actually a lady's top, though. Believe
you
it
look
or not.
like you look like a lesbian in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
Princess lesbian.
that's
Lesbian.
Princess Leia.
Chew me out, Baka.
Really? You couldn't go for Chewbacca?
Whoa, Chewbacca.
Oh, look at that. The lesbian with the punchline. God, that was good. Have you said that before?
No, it just happened.
God.
They have a whole book of lesbian puns she reads every night before she goes to bed.
Hell
That was
no,
in
I
there.
wrote it. I wrote it.
That I'm writing that down. Chewbacca. That's funny. That's like that just made my day. That was really, really funny. Very, very good. Nicely done. Nicely done, everybody. Good luck on your hunting trip. Don't get shot. Don't shoot yourself. Are you going by yourself?
No. I mean, yes, but no. I'm in my own stand.
But I mean, do you go with buddies or do you just? Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
We got a group of us in private land out there and all that stuff. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you coat yourself with urine?
No. Why do people keep asking that? You're not supposed to put the urine on you. You're supposed to put that around you. It smells really bad. You don't want that shit.
I don't know what you're talking
Wait,
about.
now you're
Deer urine. You're supposed to have deer urine around your stand, so it coats your fragrance. And you're also supposed to only wash your fatigues, your hunting camos, in no scent detergent.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Deers can smell really good.
So when you shoot your deer, like on the last day, you have to clean it and get the meat and stuff, or does somebody do that for you?
Well, you field dress it to the best of your ability.
Field dress.
So you field dress it, then you take it to a processing plant, drain it, and then butcher everything. And I'll be
How do you get
freeze
it
drying it and send it back.
Okay, so there's a process. So my buddy, I was just talking to him the other day, JFS, the audience knows him as Jeremiah fucking Sample. He goes hunting all the time, and I was talking to him, and he was literally in his deer stand when he took my phone call, which I love that about him. And
That's hilarious.
He does everything. He goes out by himself, or he'll take his sons out with him, and he does that whole field dressing stuff himself. He does everything on his land.
Yeah,
Like, he's like total redneck guy. He's really good at it.
Yeah,
It's
I
been
grew up
12 years since I pulled a trigger, and I'm really looking forward to it. I need to get back out there.
That'll be fun. They've upped the quota on our island because there's too damn many of them running around and it's not safe. So, yeah, we do that all by ourselves too. We don't have a process and
We're not
plan.
walking past that. What are you talking about? Your island?
Nantucket, where I'm from.
Oh, I thought you meant like Alcatraz.
Yeah, that's my island on the other side.
Like, what are you talking? You live in Sanford. What island are you talking about?
Where I'm from initially.
There once was a lesbian from Nantucket.
Right, who had a tongue so long. Hey, where are we going here?
Chewbacca.
No, seriously, we're getting they're at home, they're getting overrun by deer. So they've upped the quota for please kill more deer. And we don't have one of these plants where they process it all fancy for the city folk. You hang it in your damn garage. So back when I was a kid, it was close your eyes, put your hands out. What do you feel? And next thing you know, you were feeling a deer's asshole or something. That is not a joke. That's a true story.
And then she became a lesbian.
Certain things you just keep to yourself, Fox. Remember that time I touched a deer where things aren't supposed to be touched?
Just got kind of lost in that conversation for a second. She's like, it's in the garage. My eyes were closed. I'm touching deer's assholes. It was
and
one
I
of
remember,
those,
yeah.
one of those.
I don't like deer jerky. There's a reason.
Have you ever gone hunting, Fox?
Yes, only small things like rabbits.
Did you kill anything?
Only small things like rabbits.
I understand that, but you can go hunting and not kill something, like not
very easily.
Right. I'm asking you, did you kill something?
Yes, only small things like rabbits.
You're a fucking horrible conversationalist. Ben, you know what I'm asking, right?
Yeah, kill things, only small things, rabbits, maybe a couple of squirrels or something.
Deer are easier to hit, right?
Yeah, they're bigger, but if you miss, they cry. And I don't like things that cry.
Don't miss.
I couldn't do it. God bless God bless those that hunt. I couldn't do it. I went hunting.
So the first time I went, I couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I went hunting once when I was a kid for rabbit and when I was in Alaska during the winter. And I was just like, I can't do it. I just cannot. I've got no desire to eat it. I've got zero desire to kill it. I would much rather put a factor meal in the microwave for 45 seconds.
Deer meat is so much better for you, your system, everything. And it's rich. You can eat a lot less of it and get full.
Can we do another sidebar? Did you say factor meal? Do you know how bad those are?
They're healthy for you. Factor meals?
Look at the box. I just ate one tonight. They're like 80% cholesterol, 60%.
I just ate one. You know how bad that shit is?
I know. I ordered it because I wanted to try it because my work schedule sucks and there's no food available that's not $1,000 for DoorDash.
Where is it that you work again?
The postal distribution.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah. Anyways, so they're horrible.
Maybe we need to Google how good for you factor meals are versus like some baskets. The good thing about the factor meals is you just like throw them in the microwave, right?
Which is why there's potassium and sodium overload.
Right. The sodium probably is high up in there and stuff. We just don't have time to eat. Now, during the weekends, we do. Like this past Sunday, I did pizzas in my pizza oven that were horribly messed up because the dough we got was so doughy. So when I lived in Georgia, we have Kroger's there, and in Kroger grocery stores, they sell, they're like hidden, these very inexpensive rolls of pizza dough, and they're perfect for pizza ovens. Absolutely perfect. They're thin. They're not, they don't stick to each other. I mean, you literally unfold it. You put your toppings on. They were great when the kids were.
So they're not pre-cooked. They're just.
No, like straight up. Oh yeah. They're like 99 cents a piece. So this past Sunday, we do food for football Sunday, even if it's just me and Rage. And I was like, well, let's do something different. I haven't used the pizza oven in a long time. I've got one of those Alfani pizza ovens in the backyard. I was like, let me do that. You get it up to like 600 degrees and you get the stone to even hotter. Literally you put it in there for 90 seconds and it's done. You got to turn it around a little bit and this and that. I'm still trying to master the art of the pizza. And we got this dough from Publix. and the only dough I could find in the aisles was the Pillsbury dough stuff. I was like, you trying to tell me they don't have like pizza dough like at Kroger? So the lady goes, go over to the bakery. There's this small little refrigerator that's got the pre-made dough in there. I was like, really? So I go over there, and sure to hell there was,
balls of it.
No, it was separated. It was folded and separated by paper, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. You just unfold it. Nope. You open that thing up, it's all sticky together. So our first one became a flatbread that looked like the shape of Florida. Okay. And then the second one, we were like, there's no way we're not rolling this out. We're going to make a calzone. So we made a calzone, and it came out okay. I mean, it was edible. It was edible. But yeah, I got to find a different direction for my pizza dough. Anyway, I want to talk about a charity organization called Vibrant Families. This past weekend, my wife and I were invited to this gala that was put on by this charity organization based out of Sanford, Florida, called Vibrant Families. The idea behind this charity organization is to help young men without fathers. And I had no idea about any of this until Rach said, we've got a gala to go to on Friday. I'm excited. I'm dressing up. And so are you. I said, great.
By the way, Fox, did you see the pictures? Bailey looked fantastic, didn't he?
Yeah, man.
That was a pimp suit.
Striking. I was like, "Woo, he cleans up good." And that woman on your arm.
Well, she made the suit look better. I can tell you that right now. Without her, I'm just a guy in a blue suit. But with her,
damn right. Yeah.
I'm a good-looking fella. The only reason is because I got a great-looking broad next to me. Anyway,
don't call her a broad.
She's abroad, but she's here now. Anyway, so I learned about this charity organization, and they reach out. They're young men in Central Florida, and they're getting, they're expanding to all over Florida, and eventually want to go nationwide. That grew up without dads. Again, I had no idea about this Vibrant Families until I got there. And I'm like, I so can relate to this. I was like, I'm a bastard. I know what it's like. I've never looked at myself as a victim of growing up without a father, even though if you wanted to have a serious conversation about it, there are so many things that young men, especially that grow up without fathers, miss out on that could determine, most likely in a negative way, their life moving forward. Without a doubt, hands down, 110%.
How old were you when you learned how to tie a tie correctly?
It's funny you asked that. Rach asked me the same question right before the gala as I was tying my tie.
That's a dad thing.
About 8 different ways.
A rabbit goes down the hole.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Shoelaces with the rabbit in the hole.
No, I don't remember when I learned to tie a tie, and I don't remember who taught me, to be honest with you. Somebody
Captain
did.
Clip-on.
I raised a 3-year-old boy, and I got to ask you guys, who taught you how to get off the toilet without catching Mr. Sack? And I don't mean this wrong way. I'm talking medically. Who taught you how to get off the toilet without grabbing stuff into the seat?
The toilet. Once you do it once, you never do it twice.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never had anyone have to teach me any toiletry things.
Ben knows.
Okay.
You must have lucked out.
So anyway, we're at this table, at this gala. We walk in, there's pictures and everything. The Vibrant Families organization is run by a gentleman by the name of Kenneth Clark, and his wife, Hope, is the one that invited us because we have developed a relationship with her. She's an extremely nice woman, very driven woman. But she's in the wellness space that we're at Alive. So that's how this relationship started. I knew nothing about her husband, Kenneth. And we get there, and
big fella,
real big fella. He's wearing this get up, and he compliments my suit, and I compliment his outfit. And he goes, "This is from Nigeria." And I said, "This is from Saks at the outlet store. And he goes, well, you wear it well. And I said, well, you wear that well. You could wear this well. I can't wear that well. Right. So anyway, we sit down at everybody's got a table. We're sitting at a table, and this very nice gentleman, a little bit older than us, was sitting next to us. And most of the people that we spoke to, and this is what I really liked about this room, were very spiritually driven, very religiously driven. Again, I'm not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person. I believe in God. I like people that believe in God, or at least believe in hope and believe that good things come and all that good stuff. Anyway, this, Rach, once again, why you can't take me out is he's talking about the organization and why he's a part of it. And he's sharing his story, how he grew up without a father. And he's a mentor to some of these kids. And what they do is they take these kids once a month on excursions. So they get them out, they take them to a basketball game, they take them to a baseball game, they take them hiking, they go to EA Sports, they do all these fun things with the kids. And that's where your
Big brother, big sister style.
Yeah, well, they have a relationship with the Y and big brother, big sister. It's very similar, right? And so this gentleman is telling us why he's involved in Vibrant Families and how when he was a young man, he didn't have a father growing up. And when there was a pause in the conversation, I said, brother, I can totally relate. I'm a bastard too. And,
I bet that went over like a fart in church.
He looks at me and he goes, well, I'm not a bastard. And I said, well, didn't you just say you grew up without a dad? He goes, yeah, but I was 2 when when my dad left. And I said, oh, you're still a bastard. And to me, that's just normal talk. For those that have listened to me over the decades, you know that I talk about being a bastard quite often, to the point where every June, the week prior to Father's Day, I would have an event called Bastards Day Barbecue, where we would team 5 bastards up with 5 fathers. We would do events like speed fathering. We would have the Bastards Day Olympics, where you're throwing the football, the birds and the bees stage, and all these different. It was fun. It was a great event. So over the years, I always thought it was funny because people would hear the word bastard and think of it as a bad word. To me, it's not a bad word. It's just a
little cringy.
Right. It's a cringy word, which I like because it makes people feel uncomfortable and awkward. So when I would try to get it sold at the radio stations I was working at, nobody would touch it. Nobody would touch it. And I would always get complaints, and they would always ask me every year if I would change the name of the event. And I would every year say no. And then it would never get sold because of that. I mean, this had been going on the first time I did the Bastards Day Barbecue, I was at 98 Rock in Tampa, Florida. It was 2006, 2007. And then I did it for the most part every year after that. And it was just funny how people reacted to the word bastard or me talking about growing up without a father. Like it's a dirty conversation to have.
What's your definition of bastard? What is your definition of bastard?
A man or woman that grows up without a father in their lives.
That is not the definition of a bastard. I'm a bastard.
Okay, so what is the definition?
I was conceived before my parents were married. If your mother had you out of wedlock, or you were conceived prior to your parents being married in front of God, then you are a bastard. You are not a bastard. I'm sorry.
Well, let me rephrase it. My definition of bastard is what I just said it was. Therefore, it is.
In the Bailey world of things, it might be definition number 3 in some dictionary.
What I quickly realized while I was at this gala for this charity organization called Vibrant Families is, one, I want to do more with this organization moving forward. And 2, at 50 years of age, I have done a good amount of things, cool things, things that lot of people don't and won't ever be able to do through my radio career. 30 years in the business, you would think that I would be at a level where I could consult or teach or help others. I know you, the same, Fox, but we're not talking about you. We're talking about me.
Right. I understand. Yeah.
And, you know, I played a couple of years of college football. It doesn't make me a great football player because I wasn't, but I do have the experience of it. So you would think that I could maybe help out a young man in football at there's all these things in my life that I've done that I don't want to say I'd be an expert, but I could help other people in that bubble. Right. Mm-hmm. But no one's ever asked me to help me in any of those bubbles, especially the radio bubble. Like I've got 3 decades of radio experience, and people in the radio business don't want your help. They don't want any advice from somebody that's been there, done it, made mistakes, had success, had failures. They don't want that.
Well, they do, because they have consultants.
Yes, but they're not.
That's not the radio. That's the people. That's the suits.
Yeah, that's a totally different conversation. And you know, a lot of them are my friends, and I like them, and they're nice guys. But the way that I would consult would be totally different from the way that they consult.
That's what I'm getting to. It's not that they don't want consultation; they just don't want your consultation.
Remember the day that they stopped the big guy from wearing clogs? They made him stop wearing.
Yeah, you had to wear khakis.
Yeah, khakis and shoes.
Khakis. Yeah, I remember that. I was telling somebody about that story the other day. It's funny you said that. So that's, by the way, that's ridiculous. If somebody's been doing something that you do for a long period of time, you should always consult with them. You should always ask for their advice, whether you take it or not. That's not the point. The point is you should at least hear it and listen to it, make it your own. Just absorb as much education as possible from somebody that's been there and done it. And in most industries, that is the case. You know, that is usually how it works. Not in the radio industry. I'm getting to somewhere with this. So as I'm at this gala for this charity organization called Vibrant Families that helps young men without fathers, I realized for the first time in 50 years that I finally have a calling. I finally have something that I didn't realize that I'm an expert in, and that is being fatherless. I would have people want me to give them advice on what it's like growing up without a father. And that wasn't by choice. All these other things in my life were by choice, radio, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But nobody wants my advice for that kind of stuff, even though I've got all that experience. But I have 50 years of experience of being a bastard. And I found out that it is invaluable. And I can possibly help out young men that were in the same situation as me. I'm finally an expert at something, being without a father growing up. Who knew?
All right. So 2 things. First of all, you can start a new thing called Bailey's Bastards. That might be your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is, what would be your first piece of advice to somebody that's asking, how do I do it? How do I grow up with no dad? What's the advice that you give this person?
The first thing I would say is don't be angry. That would be the first piece of advice. So without a doubt, when you grow up without a father, and I can only speak by growing up without a father. So when you grow up and as a young man, growing up without a father, you miss out on a lot of things, right? The throwing the baseball in the backyard, the birds and the bees, how to protect yourself, fighting, and all these guy things, you know, that a father teaches their kid. You know, just the other day, I'm at the gym and I see this father about my age, good shape, you know, and he's with his son who's in good shape, looks like he's in high school, and his dad's helping him work out, teaching him, you know, like, hey, keep your elbows in, and the kid's listening. And I'm like, that's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. That's what it's all about right there. Those little things that a father teaches their kid, whether you think that they're listening or will retain that information or not, doesn't matter. I'm telling you, they will, is invaluable. It's beautiful. It is what it's all about. And when you don't have access to that, it is detrimental to a young man's life, because he's probably going to be embarrassed to ask mom about a lot of those things, or mom's.
you?
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't even go there. I birds and the bees stuff, figured it out on my own. Never even went. My mother and I never had that connection. We never had that emotional connection. You know, my grandmother and I, for the most part, had the emotional connection, but I sure the hell are not going to my grandmother about those types of things. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would rely on friends, and with
The
father,
show?
I would rely on friends with fathers. You know, I was very envious of a lot of my good friends who had great dads. Actually, come to think of it, most of my good friends growing up had really good dads. And I was able to kind of watch them with their dads and what their dads were teaching them. And I would just kind of make believe and pretend I was their son, you know?
Oh, you piggybacked on it. Okay, that's actually smart.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did. But the anger thing is first and foremost, because my stepson, Caleb, his dad is alive, but his dad is trash. His father is a real big waste case, from what I understand and from what I've learned. And it's unfortunate, but there was a time some years ago that Caleb got to the age where he was always very angry, and he didn't know why. I knew why, because his dad wasn't there. I was there, and he wants to know where the hell his dad is. Whether he knew it or not, that's why he was angry, without a doubt. So finally, Caleb decided, he flipped out. He's like, I'm going to go hang out with my dad and build that relationship. Like, he knew who his dad was. They kind of had communication, but it wasn't a relationship. So his dad took him in for a short period of time, and he lived with them for a couple weeks. And he quickly realized why his father was not in his life, and quickly realized how great of a mother he had for what she did for him his entire life. You know, I mean, Rach had Caleb when she was like 15 years old. She could have easily done, the out, but she didn't. She worked 3 jobs, put herself through school, put herself through college. She did the whole shebang and gave him a life, gave him everything he wanted. He never appreciated that until he went and visited his father. And I still don't know if Caleb really realizes. Ariel does, but I don't know if Caleb really realizes.
What about you? Did he come back with a better appreciation of what you put in?
Yeah, Caleb, right before this is probably one of my most special moments I've ever had with Caleb. We were living in California, and he called me one day, and he said that he was going to propose to his now fiance, wonderful young lady. And he told me before he told his mother, which was huge, right? I mean, yes, that game does exist. And so I was like, well, thank you, Caleb. I was like, I appreciate that. That makes me feel very special, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, but I wanted to also tell you this. And he went on and he talked for like 10, 15, 20 minutes of how sorry he was, how he treated me when he was younger, how he didn't realize everything that I had done for him and sacrificed in my own life to be there for him and his mother and his sister and all these things. And blah, blah, like it was like he got it, or he knew it. He just never knew how to express it. And I am on the other line, bawling my eyes out, just absolutely bawling my eyes out, because as a father and or a stepfather, the most rewarding thing that you could possibly have from your kids or your stepkids, or I just call them my kids, is knowing that they appreciate you and that they retained and used something that you taught them and it worked for them in a positive way. There's nothing better than that. Nothing better. You want nothing else in life other than knowing that your kids were able to retain some type of information that you gave them and they're using it to their advantage and making their lives better. Because when you have kids, it's no longer about you. It's about your kids. And, like when I'm on my deathbed, the whole idea for me to work and grow a live ozone therapy spa, let's say, or this podcast and make it something, whatever it might end up being, and actually monetize all of these things, is to leave it to my kids. You know, I'm not one of those people, like I'm going to die with money in my savings account because I want to know, I want to go out knowing that my kids, at least for a period of time, will not have to go without. And also my wife, you know what I mean? That to me, I feel like I've done good on earth, right? You know, knowing that. But this organization, this Vibrant Families, knowing that I can go in there and be an expert as a bastard, you know, going, dude, I know the feeling. I know what it's like. And let me tell you something else. And this is, I don't know, how do you put this? This is not the conversation that you would have in a professional setting. But let's be honest. When I walked into that gala, it was predominantly African-American.
Yeah. Okay.
And we can agree, statistically agree, that in this country, there is a very high percentage of African-American families, kids that are without their father. Okay. They didn't go there, you know, even though the leaders of this, or, you know, Kenneth and Hope, they're interracial couple. Hope is white and Kenneth is African-American, but they didn't go there. When they were talking, they didn't make it about black kids. They just made it about kids. I never heard once in this whole gala and every speech that was given, even though most, if not every single one of the speakers that were, most of the speakers that were up there were African-American. Not one of them targeted African-American kids. They said kids. I was waiting for it. I was looking for it. And the kids that were there within their program, Vibrant Families, there were white kids up there. You know what I mean? But I was, that's what made me go, they're just there for the kids. Period. The end of story. It should have nothing to do with color. Nothing to do with the color. Even though statistically, African-American boys are more fatherless than any other.
By design.
Yeah. Whatever
Right.
the case. You know, Charlie Kirk would talk about this often, and he was called a racist. And that's why, you know, for these assholes out there that celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk, you know, one of the things that they, you know, like to pound their drum on is that he was a racist. Now, if you were to ask them face to face, why was he a racist? They most likely could not answer the question. But if they did, they would probably quote, and I've actually seen people quote about him talking about the statistics for black young men growing up without fathers, saying, well, that's a racist thing to say. Even though it's statistically he's proving it, he's quoting the source. And it's like, there's this group of people that exist in the world that refuse to acknowledge numbers. Like if the number, like you'll sit there and dive into your COVID mask, but you won't acknowledge any other numbers if it doesn't fit your agenda.
Only if it fits their narrative. Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's crazy. So Kirk was, you know, targeted a racist by these whack jobs out there because, and I think solely because of what he would talk about when it came to black kids without having families and fathers and all that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, we all know the deal. Let's not get into all the politics behind it. But so aside from bringing the fact that you two can identify with them and can project the future by saying, hey, here's what I did. What are you actually going to do for them? Big Brothers, Big Sisters, YMCA is involved. Okay. So you know that a big brother takes a little brother under their wing and takes them to ball games, teaches them a craft, et cetera, et cetera. What are you bringing to the table, Billy?
Well, I didn't say they're involved. I said they have a relationship with them. So what, and I said, I explained what they do. They take these kids on excursions. So yeah, I would go with them as a mentor on these excursions. So they go canoeing. I go as a mentor and go canoeing with them. And then
You can take them to the soccer game. You have tickets.
I got 4 tickets. I thought about that.
Yeah, right.
I got 4 tickets. You know, well, see, that's the thing is like, you know, they just like any other organization, if you have connections, like I thought it would be cool, you know, if I reach out to my WWE contact and next time the WWE comes into town, if we could do something in those regards and take them backstage and they can meet some of the wrestlers and stuff. I mean, they've got NXT right up the road, TNA wrestling. I don't know if they still film at Universal. That's easy. I could take them there. that kind of stuff. So,
But even that, you don't even have to go all the way to the backstage and all that. Just taking them to these events is bigger than anything.
oh yeah,
Okay? You don't have to be all the frills and I'm the guy. I'm the guy who walked them to the front door and bought tickets, general admission, and they're going to be happy as, white on rice.
yeah.
Can we take some to Rockville?
Taking the Rockville.
Just us and a bunch of kids with no dads backstage.
I think that's what Rockville already is, isn't it? Or is that no? Sorry.
Well,
Full circle.
That's something that I thought about too, because Saliva is going to be playing Rockville next year.
Oh dear.
So I have, I'll probably be doing something in those regards. I have to figure it out because that's a mess with traffic and all that good stuff.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't yell at me, but I have to plug in my laptop. Sorry.
Okay. It's okay. You can just plug
Damn it, Fox.
plug in your laptop. So anyway, I finally found something, I guess, according to other people, I'm good at. And that would be knowing how to grow up without a father. And it took me 50 years to figure that out. I've always thought that I'm okay at certain things. I've had successful radio shows, but no one's ever come to me and said, hey, Bailey, you're good at radio, right? Even though I'm pretty good at it, right? No one ever came to me when I played football and said, Bailey, you're good at football. And I was okay. I probably wasn't even good. No one ever even said that. Playing cards, poker. No one ever said, Bailey, you're good at poker. Finally, in my life, I have something that I'm good at, and I had it in front of me all along.
Now we just got to get you a thesaurus so you know what to call it instead of bastard.
Fatherless. A fatherless.
Ah, there you go.
Fatherless. So this is very exciting for me. I can now use what I once thought was a negative, now make it a positive.
You can. You really can. I'm proud of you, Bailey. I think you've got somewhere to go here.
I know. I could really expand on this. This is good.
I don't think, though, that you needed any sort of, hey, you're good at radio, or hey, you're good at football, or hey, you're really good at being a fatherless guy.
No, I've never been one for compliments. People that know me know me. No, I hate compliments. Absolutely despise. They make me feel uncomfortable. Just like when people give me prizes, I despise getting prizes. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know how to act, right? Yeah. But this one, this is a confidence booster. And I think it's fun because it was right in front of me. I knew it all along. I'm good at bastarding. I'm good at knowing how to grow up without a father. And I didn't realize it until I went to this charity gala the other day, which is based off of fatherless kids. Now I know what my calling is. I've been training for 50 years without a father going, why me? And this was God's plan. Bailey, you are put on this earth as a bastard so you can help out this organization. Because you know what? You're an expert at one thing and one thing only, being fatherless. I'm like, yes, finally, mother.
You can teach them how to play catch with a wall.
I'd be like, hey, just bounce it against the wall. I'll be back in 20.
Yeah. Hey, you got $5? Yeah, I'll pay you back tomorrow, kid.
Yeah. So very good. It's like finding a job, it's like a dumb person finding a job. Have you ever met somebody that you're like, dude, you're not qualified to do anything? And the guy's like, yeah, I make $100,000 a month. Doing what? And you're like, well, I didn't go to college, barely finished high school. I just realized that I'm good at fill in the blank. And they found out what that is at an early enough age that they could exploit it, grow it, monetize it. Have you ever met somebody like that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know give me an example. Who's the person, Ben, that is a dum-dum in real life, but exploited the one thing that they realized that they were good at in order to be profitable?
It's ridiculous, and it's going to sound like a bit. It's not. She was a wannabe actress, but she made a fortune selling pictures of her feet before OnlyFans existed.
Okay, so she realized that there's a fetish for feet.
There's a market for her feet. Yeah, she made a fortune.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is she
Dumb as a
good at?
box of rocks.
She's good at
Feet
exploitation.
poses. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, she's marketing. She's good at finding the gap, right?
Yeah, there you
Realizing
go.
that there was a market for feet, because feet fetish is huge, right? So she realized before OnlyFans, before this whole feet fetish thing became kind of a gimmick and trendy, like, dude, I could make some cash out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And she made 6 figures probably, right?
I would assume, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice car, always, yeah.
But in real life, she's a dum-dum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's no further explanation. She really wasn't very bright.
Okay. Fox, give me an example. Who do you know?
I know a guy who takes everything that anyone else he meets does and makes it his own, but he's dumb as a box of rocks, but he can spin whatever you've told him is is yours. Like, hey, I'm doing this TV show. We're just putting this together, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, he's on the phone. Hey, I'm doing this TV show. It blah, 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 yap, yap, yap. And he's been able to take these things he's overheard. And again, stupid as hell, but he's been able to sell these things and make tons of money just by pitching somebody else's idea that he's totally just stolen.
Well, he's a gimmick stealer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
So
not smart at all.
But here's the thing. You got to look at it a different way. You know, for those listening, going, that's a horrible person. I agree. But the point of this conversation right now is a dum-dum that realizes that they got nothing. So they've got to find something that they're good at, whether it's good or bad, exploit it, monetize it. This guy realized that he's clueless. He's got nothing to offer.
Spinner.
So what he said, he goes, but what I do know is I've got ears and I've got friends that are very clever and they're not ambitious. I'm going to take their ideas. I'm going to,
and I have no moral compass
and no moral compass, no ethics. And I couldn't do it, but this guy could do it. I'm going to take their idea and he's a hustler. And that's what he does. He's a dum-dum that said great examples, just dumb people making good money. There was a list of jobs that Reddit had of different jobs for dumb people that make good money. And they had sales is the number one. You don't have to be super smart. You do need to be persistent, charismatic, and personable. And I know a lot of people in sales, and I would agree with that. What I'm learning being, owning 2 businesses, but with Alive, I have to be out and network and go to meetings and meet a lot of people. What I've noticed is 90% of the people I meet are full of shit, and they can't back up what they say they are. Their bedside manner is subpar. The callback, the email return, what they say they can offer, they're all just fibs. They just don't exist. So I refuse to be that person, but those are the people in this world, business owners, salespeople like that list, that play the part. They play the part, and when they get some type of success, I don't know if it changes. I'm assuming it does. They get better, and more maybe ethical and forthcoming and all that kind of stuff. But on the early stages, they're fucking clueless, like absolutely clueless, and they're full of shit. They lie. Sales
breath. That's what you call it. Sales breath. I can smell it.
Well, you're around a lot of these people too, Ben, and they're just, they're, I don't want to say they're horrible people, but they're horrible people. I mean, there's a lot, there are a lot of bad people that are in business, especially small business, things that I don't understand. For example, I got a million of them, but I'll meet a business that both my business and their business could profit off of each other by joining forces, which would consist of literally a phone call and maybe a little legwork, right?
Okay.
And we agree, and we know it can be profitable for both. I do my part, and then they just ghost. They just disappear. But it doesn't make sense. Like, to me, everything has got to make sense because everything happens for a reason. So why would you not take advantage of that?
Do they feel like it takes too much work? Why would they just ghost like that?
Now, I used to go to those networking things too, and I got so frustrated because I don't drink, and a lot of them are at places where you imbibe. You were drinking? There's drinking at a lot, not at these ones now. I gave up because it was all about the alcohol at a lot of them, and when alcohol's involved, boy, God, then the it just gets so deep. I mean, you're wading around in just so much BS, if you will.
No, you're talking more or less like
networking.
After
hours networking. Yeah.
What we're doing is like 7:30 in the morning, 11:30 in the afternoon. These are daytime. You're talking about like, hey, you go to the bar at 6 o'clock and you have drinks and you network and those types of things.
Put your little name tag on.
Those were useless. Absolutely useless.
You guys want to hear some other jobs?
Waiting.
Money. Oh, let's see. Number 2 is real estate agents.
Oh.
Yeah, us, right. Insurance, particularly insurance sales, no doubt. Healthcare, but on the business side, oil and gas drilling, longshore men.
Yes, they just need to have no fear.
Look at me. I can turn this wrench. This here thing is easy.
What's a longshoreman?
Offshore oil rig type deal.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Politicians. Yeah. Influence. Oh, politicians are the worst. Like, you would think that politicians are the smartest of the smart. These people are fucking morons, like absolute morons. And they act like children. I don't care what political party you're invested in. They're all children. They're like, I'm not doing it. I'm not signing it unless you.
Excellent.
Oh my God. And they argue and they yell at each other and they try to catch each other in little lies. And you posted this 2 years and 4 days ago. That means you mean it. And I'm like, oh my God. Jesus.
Interrupt each other more than any sort of social norm should ever be accepted.
Yeah. Politicians should be master negotiators, and they are not. Influencers, without a doubt. Dumb people that make good money, influencers. I hate that word. Absolutely. I hate not only the word, but I hate the business. The business is such a scam. So doing this, it's a gray area in the influencer bubble, right? I just signed on with the largest influencer company in the world. Okay. And what that means is they reached out to me and they will provide campaigns that I have to apply for. And if I get accepted, then I tell you, the two peers, the listeners, about that. And then they become like a semi-sponsor. I really can't use the word sponsor, but I would become an influencer. Here's the hiccup is I don't have influencer numbers on social media. And I hate to break the secret here, the fourth wall, but most influencers, the people that follow them are not real.
They buy them.
Arms.
They buy them. There are many ways. If I wanted 2 million followers on Instagram, I can get 2 million followers if I want on Instagram.
Right
it
now.
Probably cost me like $1,000 or something like that. But I don't want that because I don't want all this crap on my feeds. I would rather have my 7,000, 8,000 on Instagram, whatever I have, of people that I know me and that I know them, right? And that if I'm promoting a product that I believe in or a sponsor to this podcast that I believe in, I want you to know that I believe in them and I want that person to know it. So that's the problem that I have with this influencer world is that these companies are like, oh my gosh, that guy's got 1,000 or 1 million followers. We're going to go with him. And they get no results because they're bots. They're not real people following them. You know, you live within your bubble. If you've got 5 people that are willing to go to war with you, I would rather take those 5 people than those 1 million people that aren't real. You know what I mean? Because I'm by myself in that war. You know, if I'm gonna, right? It doesn't make any sense.
5 will show up.
OnlyFans is another job that dumb people can make good money on. Law enforcement. I'd hate to
law
say,
enforcement. Oops.
I hate to say that's true. This is according to Reddit, by the way. The military. One person said some of the smartest people I know I met in the army. All the dumbest people I know I met in the army. Garbage and sanitation. A handful of us have college degrees. It's just that our job pays more than some of the degrees can. Management, middle management, professional athletes. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's a big one. Professional athletes, but they're
Really good at that thing.
I'm good at football. I do football good, right?
Hi, Mom.
Catch a ball.
When football is done, it's like, oh, shit. But it doesn't matter because you just signed a deal for $50 million. You don't need to do anything the rest of your life. You're pretty good. Anyway, so Vibrant Families. If you're in and around the Central Florida area, look it up. It's pretty cool. I'll have more on it. I'm going to get Kenneth on probably next week so he can talk more about the organization. Cool. Yeah. So I don't know anything about him. I really
Aren't
don't.
they preachers? I could swear I've seen like both of them on billboards over off Colonial West area.
It used to be. I don't know that they still are.
I know
he's very well respected.
I know.
I'm pretty sure I've seen him within the last couple of years since I stopped driving. No, but
yeah, I think he is, and I know his wife is also a pastor. Hope is also. I don't know if she's actively pastoring and she's been pasteurized.
Pasteurized, nice.
We'll have to ask. We'll have to ask Louis Pasteur.
I
know where they used to go to church, and I know they used to lead their flock here locally, but I don't know what they're up to now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just very interesting. It's you guys be curious. You don't want to jump head first in. You want to dip your toes in. But the people that I met at this gala were just wonderful people. Absolutely wonderful people, and they had great sponsors and a lot of support from some big name sponsors in and around town. That I know of. I'm like, okay, well, you're in, and cool. I'm in. That's kind of neat. So Vibrant Families. No, I'll tell you more about it when I go and mentor. I'm going to sign up to mentor. It's going to be neat.
You gotta change your vernacular.
I can't call the kids bastards. I can tell you that.
Hey, you little bastard, come here. Let's go to a game.
Yeah.
Gotta teach you some soccer.
So I was one of the things I was thinking about doing, like I could take them for a tour of the iHeart radio station. And I was like, yeah. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, because then you got to go through the radio, the different studios, and you got to be nice and say hi.
There'd be nobody there unless you went between 7 and 9 a.m. They're never going to let you in because the process is like, everything from an anus check all the way to IDs. The kids won't have IDs. They won't let you in with that big of a group or more than 2 people.
Well, they will let me. I work there. I'm an employee there. I can get in.
That's still work there.
Yeah,
we're on there.
The show is syndicated on 2 iHeart stations.
Uh-huh. Do you have a badge?
Yeah, I have everything. Yeah.
But you do have a badge, so you can get in that way.
Yeah,
okay. Because you know how difficult it is signing in and getting guests in, right?
Yeah, I'm an employee.
Understood.
Yeah,
do you know how hard it is to get the guests in?
No, Fox, I don't. Okay. I'm guessing it's very hard to get it. I'm sure I can work. Anyway, not my point. So I was like, okay, if I don't take them there, then do I give them a tour of the Golden Scissors studio? It's like, we're going to Deltona, boys. I'm going to walk you through the Golden Scissors. Okay, it's time to go.
Here we are. We'll see you later.
This is Max. This is Petunia. This is King Henry. This is Jen. And let's go up the stairs. And there's a nice wall of pictures from my career. And here you go. It's a little dirty over here. That's where I do work. And that's a Darth Vader. Those are nunchucks. And and this is the studio. You guys want to talk into the microphone? Okay, I'm going to record that and I can send that to you. Isn't that neat? Okay, this is where the magic happens. But
just kind of sounds like a job shadow.
Yeah, you want to spit some beats, boys? Yeah.
It doesn't have that same, back in the day, the Boy Scout troop walking by the radio stations, looking in the glass. Doesn't have that same sizzle to it. Coming to the Golden Scissors studio where a podcast is done, anyway.
All the studios are so small at iHeart and nobody is there anymore. And it's so sterile. I think the kids would be, after the first one, you open the door. After that, it's like, and here's another one. And here's another one.
My biggest fear would be them going, what is radio? Like, what,
right.
They'd probably be more interested in where a podcast is made.
One podcast studio would be cool, and then it'd be like seeing Golden Sisters. Oh, okay, here we go, and let's leave.
Right. Okay, so before I get your what the fuck video for this Freebay episode, again, if you enjoyed this and you're not aware, the BS, the Bailey Show, it's 3 times a week. So there's 3 different shows, 5 days a week. So yeah, Honey, I Raised the Kids, that's released on Mondays. That's free on the same feed. That's about me and my wife becoming empty nesters in our second life. Me and Rach do that. Fridays is the Vinyl Road podcast with me and Brad Stewart of Saliva about rock and roll, stories from the road, and all that good stuff. Have rock stars on there. It's really cool. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's us. It's the Bailey Show. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, in case you don't know, there are episodes that are released. But if you're like on another platform, you might not see that those episodes exist. And if you're on the Spotify platform, you'll see it, but you can't listen to it. The reason why is because you're not a subscriber. It's very simple. To be a subscriber, go to jasonbailey.com and it says subscribe. Takes 2 seconds. It's $4.99 a month. I mean, that's nothing, right? You help the greater good and you get all the content throughout the week, right? It's very, very simple. But I mean, there's episodes like a lot of people will see the what I call social snaps that I post every day, Monday through Friday, and they'll think that's the entire show. And it drives me insane. Like I was going back and forth with some guy about the Vinyl Road social snap that I posted last Friday. And Brad and I were talking about the Super Bowl and Bad Bunny. And I asked him, it's like, give me an alternative to Bad Bunny. Who would you have? And he's like, Youngblood, Metallica. And I was like, Bad Bunny? He's like, nope. He's like, I'd want a real rapper. So some guy's commenting about how much he loves Bad Bunny. And I always ask people the same question. I'm like, did you hear the whole show? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, then shut the fuck up. You have to listen to the whole show for it to make complete sense. The snaps make sense contained within 60 some odd seconds, but the conversation is longer. That's just to get you to listen. You're not reading the post. So you can't come to a conclusion of what we're talking about unless you hear the whole conversation. So a lot of you on Tuesday's release episode of the BS, the subscriber episode, you saw that we had the pantyhose rapist on, and you're probably scratching your head. Some of you were angry that messaged me. I get it, but you did not listen to the whole episode. You have to listen to the whole episode, not just the short 60-second clips that I post. All right. You would understand more and probably be shocked if you had heard the entire episode. Same thing with last week. We had a subscriber episode, I believe it was on Thursday, and Ben lost his shit on me. He was furious with me. And there was a small clip that I posted, which, by the way, had the most numbers on all of our social media, especially.
Really?
Oh my God.
Wow.
That clip right there, especially on YouTube, was off the chazangs. Okay. People loved watching Ben get mad. If you're not familiar with it, let me show it to you.
I'm not going to be painted like a broke bitch. That's why I'm not dating a girl, dude. Stop going back to the dollar thing. You're pissing me off.
So the $30 ceviche doesn't exist. That was just
why do you keep going back to the $30 ceviche? Why is that the important thing?
Because you said
I said hypothetically they might have a $30 ceviche.
You didn't say
I never said that's what she ordered. Yes, I did. I said hypothetically. No. Yes, I did. I said hypothetically. No. Okay. It's got nothing to do with that. And I'm not going to be painted like a broke and that's why I'm not dating a girl, dude. Stop going back to the dollar thing. You're pissing me off.
Okay. So it had nothing to do with the $30 ceviche. That's what you said.
I said that.
3 different shows, 5 days a week.
Okay. So the feedback that I got on that was, mixed. Bailey's being Bailey. For those that know me, know how I work. When I see somebody like that, people that don't know Ben or even the show thought Ben overreacted. He was being an asshole. And so I'm like, did you listen to the entire episode? It was a subscriber episode. You have to listen to the whole conversation for it to really be put into context. That's my point. You have to listen to the entire thing. With that being said, I must make a correction, if you don't mind, to that conversation. because you did say, Ben, that you said hypothetically, right? The $30 ceviche, correct? That's what you said in the clip. Okay. Because here's the audio of the conversation.
You're not dogging her. I'm asking you a question.
Thornton Park type girl, and that's just not my vibe.
That's like a wine Wednesday girl, right? Thornton Park.
Yeah, $30 ceviche, which I'm not saying that she's money driven. I'm just saying I wouldn't have a good time hanging out in those places.
Okay. That was what we eventually were arguing about. And then the next
analogy. He's going back to the $30 ceviche.
Because
why is that the important thing?
Because you said it.
I said hypothetically they might have a $30 ceviche.
Okay, you never did say hypothetically.
Nope, I did not use the word hypothetical. I was painting a hypothetical picture. I believe that's pretty evident there. Okay. And I would like to address something real quickly. I do want to address something. I don't think I'm thin-skinned, but I can be a bit of a hothead, and sometimes I do overreact to stuff. I'm not certain if I overreacted there or not, but what I will say is this. You will never have to question if you're getting something real from me. I'm going to tell you how I feel, and sometimes it's going to be with a better entertainment value, and sometimes I'm going to come across like a little prick. But you're always going to get me one way or the other.
I loved it. Here's the best part. Okay. Fox doesn't know how to handle it, which is funny to me because she should. She's been in this business for so long. But again, if you listen to the episode, she makes a comment. I'm just going to get out of here if this doesn't stop. Like you didn't know what to like, see the fake phony eye thing going on. You get awkward and uncomfortable with that stuff, which was great. I loved that.
You felt a little weird, huh, Fox?
Always. Because I don't, well, there's a reason. I tried to tell him when he was going up on the fluffy lady, the no sugar mama, is that she got really mad at me for our conversations, became a subscriber, and along with several other people that she knew, and said boundaries. And then I was like hesitant to talk at all. So I deflected.
Yeah. What does that have to do with you becoming awkward and uncomfortable when Ben lost his shit on me?
I was losing because I was laughing. I thought it was funny that it was him, not me, because I deflected.
Again, you were acting on, you literally, you said, I'm going to leave the show if it continues.
Stop picking on Ben.
No. That's bullshit. There are people. This is what I love about this. And this is what I love. I love when people get uncomfortable. I love uncomfortability. I love
confrontation sometimes shows you something different about people.
Absolutely.
I don't remember anything that happened like 10 minutes ago in this conversation. So
that's cop out. Now you remember.
Yep.
It's really true. I don't want to play it back for me, and I'll look at it and tell you maybe what I can recall. I was thinking
we have proof that he will play you some shit back next week.
I know. That's fine, but I really don't remember why. I'm not trying to cop out. That's God's honest truth.
Ben, you believe it?
No, but that's okay.
I'm sorry. I really don't.
Sometimes I do, but not in this instance. In this instance,
well, maybe
I you were uncomfortable with the confrontation, and it took you back to some sort of
not at all. I was
some situation in your youth.
Thank you.
Nah.
Thank you.
My youth went away when I was 12, and I had to play both parents.
Thank you. Yeah,
and that's what I'm talking about.
It wasn't. I was uncomfortable because you were getting so defensive and upset. And that's why I started laughing, because I didn't know what else to do. And that's why I said what I said, because you were getting uncomfortable. It was making me uncomfortable. I felt bad for you.
So there was something that I forgot to add to that conversation as we had it last week.
Hold on, before you continue, let me, I probably should have said this, bad host. That, again, that's why you got to subscribe, jasonbailey.com. That whole shitstorm stuff that happened on this show was about the girl that we had on from the Netflix special, the ex-con revenge or something like that.
Con revenge.
Thank you.
Yep.
And I tried to hook her up with Ben, and I had asked Ben, what's going on with her? Are you guys still talking? And Ben went weird and alluded to the fact that she was highbrow. and then started, but he wouldn't answer my fucking questions. And that's what irritated me. And so that's why I was picking on him. And then he brought up the ceviche. Now, again, for those that know me, know that I remember everything, especially in a conversation. So I will pick it apart. That's when it got weird. And Ben was taking it like I was calling him a broke ass bitch, which was not my point at all.
It's just that was where it kept going. And I'm like, dude, that's got nothing to do with this.
But you took it as you are the broke ass bitch. And that's what I was saying. What I was saying is she was too high maintenance. This
is what I didn't get to because of where we went with that part of the conversation. I was checking out her social media and I'm like, I think she's probably into a lifestyle that I'm probably not. She was probably doing the same thing to me, going, this guy hunts. This probably isn't the dude for me. You know, so there's two sides to it. It has nothing to do with her being high maintenance. I'm not calling her high maintenance. I'm sure she's a lovely girl. But we just never got that far. And my phone never rang, man.
And you didn't even hear, I'm assuming, me say during that conversation is I couldn't afford it either. I said, oh, you can't afford that $30 ceviche. I couldn't afford it either. Meaning that I don't want to pay for fucking $30 ceviche. I said that in the conversation, but and I think that had something to do, if I were to guess, with a prior conversation of you living in the shed in the backyard.
Yeah, see, piggybacked on yep.
But I wasn't, and I said, I go, look, I'm not making fun of you living in the shed in the backyard. I'm just asking questions about, my situation with my mother, which, by the way, if you want an update on that and hear me get a little huffy puffy, listen to this past Monday's Honey, I Raised the Kids, because that whole mom, tiny house, shed, ADU, backyard, that whole project, it's done. It's not happening. And I'm pissed off about it. You listen to Monday's episode of Honey, I Raised the Kids. You know what? Anyway, it's over. But see, that's the whole point of me bringing this back up. Is not to rehash some ugly stuff. Is that
we got to, we work through it.
You've got to hear the whole conversation before you can make a judgment on just the clip. That's the thing. Now, and I know what did you say? Okay. So just, and I know a lot of shows will post the clips. You have to understand that there's more to the show. It's like judging an entire movie based off of a trailer. Now, granted, you want the highlight of the movie in the trailer, but you can't come to a conclusion that the movie's good, bad, infinite until you watch the whole fucking movie. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just how it is. If you're basing a business, a restaurant, or whatever off of one bad review, and there's 100 good reviews, that's stupid. Go see for yourself. You think the new Taylor Swift album blows because one person said it sucked. Listen to it if you want to make a decision. I don't know
it's
why
impossible.
Taylor Swift is an example, but I mean, but you have to get the full effect before you can come to a conclusion. That's my point. So subscribe. Jason Bailey, JasonBailey.com. All right. Let me get your what the fuck video for this episode and we'll get out.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? I don't know where the audio went in the middle of that. It was there before. Isn't that crazy?
That's a bucket of suck.
So
did one person get throwed?
A bunch of them.
Throwed? Throwed or thrown?
Throwed.
So if you're not watching the show, I'll explain to you that is an amusement park. I believe it said it was in Saudi Arabia or something, Middle East. And there's this big circle ride that just sways back and forth. So just imagine
like a pendulum and it spins.
Yeah, just imagine a long stick. And then there's a circle with a stick in the middle, and in the circle there are people sitting, and it's a pendulum, and it just goes back and forth and back and forth. And at one point, when it was swaying up, the stick in the middle, the base, the shaft broke in half, and that circle slammed into the base of the ride.
And people were throwed.
People were throwed, according to
They
Fox.
was throwed everywhere.
According to the news article, no one died, which is crazy because that thing slams right into the main pillar. And I would think whoever had that seat, unlucky, was just destroyed.
They got a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
A little cut on their forehead.
And the next question is if you have an incident like this outside of the United States, what's the laws on suing? Because in the U.S. we're sue happy.
That's going to happen.
You don't even have to sue. You're going to get money, walk away. Right?
Well, they each got a free goat.
A free virgin.
You take your own, you take your own risk. There's 77 versions and a goat. You're on your own. Goodbye.
All right. Look, let's wrap this up. Like, share, follow all of our social media, all the shows on the BPX, the Bailey Podcast Exchange have their own social, their own Instagram at Honey I Raised the Kids, at Listen to the BS, at the Vinyl Road Podcast. The BS has Facebook. It has Twitter. The YouTube channel has all the content on there, including the free shows. So please follow us on our YouTube channel. To make it easy, just go to jasonbailey.com. It says get all the links and literally has all of my links there. You can shoot me a message, ask Manny a legal question next time he's on. Our merchandise is up there as well. Our newsletter, we want you to subscribe to the newsletter. These are all free of charges, but it helps us out. Love sending the newsletters out. Ben is doing a fantastic job of putting that together, and they're getting better. We're missing things here and there. That's on me too. But, as we move forward, it's getting better, and we'll add things to it like I was doing before and stuff. But I just wanted to get it out to you guys, the newsletter stuff. Thanks to our great sponsors, again, on jasonbailey.com. If you're a business and you were thinking about possibly wanting to get into that digital world and get your brand out there, and you need help and advice and a place to showcase your brand and what you do, please reach out to me via jasonbailey.com and join our great list of sponsors, including our title sponsor, Once Upon a Coconut, onceuponacoconut.com. Make sure you're using the discount code BS Podcast 10 at checkout so you save yourself some gatuses. All right, Fox, you got anything before we get out?
Yeah, don't get thrown off of amusement park ride in Saudi Arabia. Bad idea.
Amusement park.
Oh, also, don't forget Saturdays, the BS, just the BS, not the other two shows. There's a condensed version of the podcast that is syndicated on 2 iHeart radio stations, one in Orlando at WJRR, Saturday morning from 6 to 9. It's cool. So you get to hear kind of like snippets from the show mixed in with some rock and roll and all that good stuff. And then also in Jacksonville, Planet Radio, same time, Saturday mornings from 6 to 9. It's very unique and very cool to have a podcast that is also delivered on terrestrial radio. So any support of that would be nice via those radio stations' social media. Or if you're in the area, you're listening. And if you're not in the area, you can always download the iHeart Radio app and listen that way. So that support is welcomed as well. Bald Badger, you got anything?
Yeah, I need some feedback on this Bailey's Bastards thing. Am I doing a logo for that or what?
Sure, you can. I don't know. I'm kind of like grayish area talking the way that I talk about that.
See, it feels weird now.
If I want to be a part of this organization, so
there it is.
You kind of have to get me and who I am and how I am.
Does Bailey's Boys sound bad?
Yeah, that sounds really bad. That's creepy.
Oh God. Yeah, it's like Basketball Diaries style.
Yeah, weird. All right, look, have yourself a great, safe rest of your day. If you're going to be doing some drinking, I understand. I get it. If you had too much, please don't get behind the wheel of a car. And don't be posting shit on social media. I've lost too many friends like that, and so will you. Enjoy the shows this week. Thanks for support. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening. Till next time, check out thebaileyshow.com. Make sure you like, share, follow on all socials. I leave you with these parting words.
Never got a pink slip either. You know what I would get? A guy would come around to my desk and say, "Get the fuck out of here!"
What do we want to talk about?
3 different shows, 5 days a week, 1 feed, details, and to subscribe, jasonbailey.com.